All right, so for my YouTube channel, guys, I have to say this beginning of all recordings, because this is going to be accessed by the public. I don't have my channel, all of my trainings private. If you are uncomfortable with your face being seen on YouTube or for people to see it, please shut your camera off. If you're okay with that, just give a thumbs up so they can see that you're okay with your name and picture being seen on this recording, so that they don't take it down. I've had a few taken down because I didn't say this. So as long as they see that you're okay with that, thumbs up. If your camera's off, they know that you don't want your picture or image to be seen. And I appreciate that. So appreciate you guys. So let's go. And I want to answer this question from Miss Phyllis. So she said, what's the purpose of the long tail key phrases? So we went over this a few weeks ago about short tail and long tail key phrases. Short tail key phrase is a generic term or keyword that encompasses a wide audience for whatever you're marketing. So that's going to be your main focus because that gets everybody involved. That's going to be your permalink. It's also going to be your main focus keyword. That should be your first keyword under that section. But when you go to do your snippet, it should also be your URL. Now, your long tail key phrases are exactly that. They're longer, more descriptive, and they pinpoint a specific topic within your page concerning the information you're talking about. And what they do is they literally pinpoint people relating or wanting that particular topic itself. So if you're doing, say, health and beauty, or we're just going to do fitness, okay? Health and fitness is going to be your main key phrase. All right, that's going to be your URL, your permalink. But then under main fitness, your long tail keywords can be how to get healthy for women over 40, or the best workouts for men under the age of 70. Great drinks or healthy foods to help with weight loss. You can be talking about, say you're talking about energy, how to stay focused, how to, have that pep. Then you can be talking about, your main key phrase is going to be energy, lasting all day energy. And then under that, you can talk about energy drinks that have no caffeine or how caffeine affects your energy level. And that'll be your long tail key phrase because then people's going to be typing in. And think about when you do a search on Google, do you type one or two words or do you type out sentences?
Depends on what I'm looking for.
Exactly. So what you want to do is when you write that page, you want to encompass however you as a consumer search. So if you have long questions, then that's the way you want to have those as your headline and as your long tail key phrase because people ask questions when they go in. How to, what do I need? Do you have? You don't have to put the wording exactly that way, but you want to make sure that you have that long tail key phrase because then that narrows and pinpoints people that are looking just for that product or just for that solution.
Well, I guess that's where I got confused at because I have been going to all the trainings. And again, you guys know I'm literal, I'm working on it. But I was thinking everything was supposed to be long tail key phrases.
Mm-mm.
Now I get it.
Yep.
Say if I just typed in fine wines, for example, that's covering a broad topic and a whole lot of traffic. From
Exactly.
what I understand now, the long tail key phrase is specific. For
Yes.
example, I want to know what's the difference between a short tail and long tail. I would type that whole thing in
Yep.
there. So I got
Yep.
it now. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. You're welcome. Perfect. Good job. Okay. So, Shar, where's my Shar? Did you post that link for how to do images in our chat group?
Which one? I
The
have
one that you
many.
posted in the MSI chat about how to consolidate or
Oh,
resize your
no,
images.
it was just an MSI chat. I can put it here though.
Yep, put it here and then put it in our group chat. Shar did a really great video and training on her page. And this is what you guys need on how to change and size your images and label them properly. So she's going to put a link in there. Make sure you open that link up and bookmark it, because I promise you it will be a game changer in the traffic to your site. Okay. Yes, Mr. William.
Sorry, that was a mistake. I was just
Okay. All right. So last week, and I'll try to get all those done tonight. I'm going to stay up tonight to get all my videos, at least as many of them as I can. But I've had family stuff going on this week, and I got stuck, not stuck, but yeah, I got stuck creating pages. I just had a brain explosion, and I couldn't sleep for about 3 days. So I've got like 5 or 6 pages in draft. So I got to get those done. But one of the things we did talk about was your transitional page last week. And no, yeah, your transitional page, which is your sales page. And that is exactly that. One of the things I do want to make sure that you guys understand, and I've covered this, it's been in my training. With rank math, it is a mathematical, a statistical analysis of your page. Okay. You don't have to get 2,500 words. They do want you to have at least 1,500 if you can, but you don't have to get 2,500. You don't have to try to strive for 90 to 95%, because just because you have a higher rank math level, that just means that you are that much closer to your major competition. But if you keep repeating the same thing over and over, it's not going to do you any good if you're not focusing on your niche audience and they can't find you. So you want to make sure that you're writing cohesive material and relevant content so that it reaches the people you want it to reach. So if you get to that last paragraph in your blog and you're like, I just can't think of anything else, I've said everything I got to say, and you're around 12 to 1,500, you're fine. You still want to make sure, though, that you have a minimum of 4 images, and that includes videos. So images and or videos on your page. And that is one of the things. Look down at the bottom. If it doesn't turn green on you for your images, you don't have enough.
Do you want to cover the limitation sizes that we have because
Yes,
of it bogs down?
yes. So I'll let Shar, you go over that because that is your forte. Yes, Mr. William, let's get this question.
okay. Now I have a legitimate question.
Okay.
Um, I have we got a list of all those URL videos for the new Genesis products.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a couple lines of code. Do we have to claim those as our own? Like a personal code that we a link that we
No,
get from
if they give them
Velveeta?
to you, they're for you to use.
Okay.
So you can use, same thing. Somebody asked me about videos I have on my YouTube channel. Can they use them? Because I go out and find videos that allow me to download them and put them on my channel, and I do that. It gets traffic for my channel, and I usually take them to Canva and splice them up and put things, rearrange them, because I can do that. So that is one of the things you can do. If you find a video anywhere that's out there that's on a public access that it's not trademarked or blocked, you can use them on your videos. And how you
Okay.
know if
Well,
they're trademarked
yeah.
or blocked is when
These
you
came
go
from
to,
Rory. Yeah, they all came from Rory, and I remember
yeah,
something about Wistia videos and
yeah,
how the names and codes are embedded in those.
yeah, because what he does is once you put that in your website, and you need to use it as a custom HTML.
Right.
So whenever he changes that video, it'll automatically change wherever that HTML is.
That's how I put it in as the HTML.
Yeah, just put in the HTML and it'll play because we don't have a Wistia app or
Okay.
block on our site. So you have to use
Okay.
it as
Just
a
wanted to
custom
check. I did
extension.
that today. I made a new page today. So.
Yep, perfect. So yeah, so that's one of the things. So we're gonna let Shar, I'm gonna let you take over. Let me give you co-host. Hold on. Where are you at? There you go. And she's going to show you guys about, and this is very important. If you have images that you've just copied over somewhere and posted in your site and have not sized and named them properly, you can literally cause your site to lag when somebody is uploading your site. And if it takes them too long to get to where they need to go, they can click off your site and go to the next person or site that came up with what they were searching for. So Shar, take it away.
Okay, well, I was just gonna I was just gonna review the sizes. I found that if you have 4 images on a page, 250 pixels, it works. It works well. It's only 1,000 total. Yeah, it doesn't bog down your page. Rory was saying 1 or 2 at 800 pixels. So if you make them smaller, 800 pixels is still big. You have to make it smaller. If you make it 250 pixels and put it in there, they're all going to be consistently the same, which is great. You can embed them into your paragraphs. You can make them smaller if it works smaller, but I wouldn't make it bigger than 250 if you bring in a 250 because then it pixelizes it and it stretches it out and makes it look odd.
Yeah.
So I would keep it 250. You can use the size, the circles on the side and make it smaller to fit into your paragraph if that works better. Um, I don't know if you want me to show them from start to finish how to name an image
Yeah. Yes.
or okay,
Yeah.
let me see. I was working on this one, so let me share my screen.
Okay. And guys, this is where I want you to take notes because this is important for Google traffic, especially if you are instant indexing pages. If you don't have your images properly named, it could literally change how you are getting indexed and even if your page is getting indexed. So pay attention.
Okay, well, I use Photoshop. You probably don't have Photoshop, but if you do, this will work. Um, but you can use any you can use Paint, I don't know, Canva, whatever,
Mhm.
to resize your images. You can actually use the what's ever downloaded on your computer to resize. So
Well,
this one,
PhotoPad.
what's that?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with PhotoPad? Is that one okay?
Yeah. Anything that you
I,
can use to resize your images, use it.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna make my Photoshop bigger. Okay, so this one, I took off. I because I have Photoshop, I paid a little extra. I get all the free images that I want that are free. Some of them you do have to pay for, but I get the free ones. So what I do is once I find the image that I want, um, I just click on image size and it tells me it's on a different monitor. Tells me what size it is. So most images are pretty large. They're 4,600. This one's 4,629 pixels. So what I do when I bring this in, um, I like to save them for my ads first, and then I make them smaller for my page. So this one, or for Facebook, I leave it 1,000. It fits well in if you want to put it on your header. And then, um, as a as a header image. But this one I'm going to save as um, for most of the ads that I found, 345 pixels is most of them won't accept anything larger than that. Some of them do, but I've been saving at 345. So I'm just going to click OK and it makes it smaller. So then I'm going to save it Shift Control Alt S is actually the save, and it's of course down here at the bottom. Keep getting layers here. And then I'm going to save, but I didn't name it, or actually I did. I named this one Biohacking Techniques because that's what it says here. If it's for a certain page, sometimes I'll take a long tail keyword or a key phrase so that you have your main keyword, then you have your key phrase, then you have long tail. keyword or key phrase. But this one I'm just going to keep as biohacking techniques, and then I'll put a dash on it, and I'm going to put 3, 4, 5 as the size. So I know what size it is. This because I make various sizes when I resize them, some for my ads, some from social media, whatever. You can resize it, but I would go larger to smaller. So if you save it at 1,000, save it at 500, save it at 400 or 345. Then you go down to 250. 250 is the smallest if you wanted to save it on your website. So this one I'm going to save as 345 for my ad. And it actually saved it into my Google Drive. I have actually my Dropbox. I saved to my Dropbox here. But then I put them in my other. And then I'm going to just do Control Z to make it bigger again. Go to image size. And then this one, I'm going to do 250. It's going to be so small you won't see it because they're so large. 250. Whoa,
I was gonna say, got a bunch of twos in there.
goodness. I've got so many open here. I'm not hitting the right one. 250. And then hit enter and it's 250. And then I'll do Shift Alt Control S to save it. And then I'll click save. And then this one, I'll do the same, but do hyphen 250. Now, in some cases, if I'm using this image to place an ad, you can also do hyphen 4v68.com. And then it'll also put the dot. I always save to PNG. So it automatically saves to PNG for me. So it'll actually save your website in there. Or you can go back instead of doing that, since you really don't want to, you want to start branding. So teacher Sheila taught me that, and she's teaching us that. I would put hometown lifestyle connection. And if anybody's searching for that, it will come up as well. And you'll search higher in the ranking. So I'm just going to put that in and I'm going to save. That says 250. So I'm going to minus this and go back and I'm going to replace this. Replace. I need to upload it because I made other ones in different sizes. So I'm going to pick the 250 and it's going to automatically put it in there. It replaces it at 250. And it has all that good stuff in there. Now, if I go to my media, oh, I really don't want to leave. Cancel. I'm just going to say this, go to the media and show you. You can have different images in your media. However, I would just save the 250s from now on. You can go back. Well, I wouldn't do that either because you may have some bigger images in other pages. And if you change it, you're just going to bog down your website even more. So if you want to go in and resize in your media, it tells you what it tells you what pages they're on too, right, Sheila?
Mm-hmm.
Detached. Usually, I remember the old one showed you what pages they were on.
And it could be because we changed the rank math. It didn't
Yeah,
automatically do our page,
doesn't
our
have that.
images. Yep.
Yeah. So, but you can see here because you named it correctly, you know that this one is in here and I really don't want this one anymore. You can go in and delete it. Now you can go in and rename it also if you click on edit. You can go in and put your alt text in here, put a caption if you want, a description. Sometimes that helps with your SEO also.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if you hear my doggy behind me. I wouldn't mess with any other of the anything other than description and caption. I wouldn't go below there. You don't want to mess up all your images.
No.
But
Yeah,
there's a lot there. Yeah, you don't want to really touch that.
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to update it. I'm just going to go back to my media. But that's where you go find your images if you click on media. Going forward, let's just say going forward, when you bring in your images, you probably want to do it this way. Now, I know a lot of people, they go out to They go out to images, they go out and they click on Google, put biohacking. And let's see what's out there. Now, to find safe images, I know you all probably know this by now, but if you click on tools, you'll see a drop down here. Usage rights and Creative Commons are safe to use. So you can click on any of these. So I'm just going to grab one and show you. There's not really any good ones, but this one I can. I'm going to right click, save image as, and it's going to go to my Dropbox, my marketing. I have all my categories here, and I'm going to go to biohacking, and I'm going to save this as biohacking hyphen. I'll put icon because I have no idea what that is, and just hit enter. And it's going to save it in my biohacking. I don't know the size yet until I actually open it up from my wherever you're going to size your image. So if I open it up in my Photoshop, let's do it this way. Control O opens. If I open this, it will tell me if I click on image and image size, it'll tell me what size it is. It's 225. It's safe to use on your page because it's under 250. You really don't want to make it 250, you can, but it may pixelize it a bit. Let's see if it does. I don't think it does that much. Yeah, you can. You can see it's pixelized. You see it's like little raw edges. So I'm going to do Control Z to go back. And now it's smooth again. So when I say pixelized, pictures, digital pictures are pixels. And they're little squares put together to make the image. So when you're watching your TV and you see sometimes you'll see the pixels, it'll go, oh my gosh, I can't make that out. It's stuck. That's what pixels are. So just a little tidbit there. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I can show you extra, but please name and size them properly before you don't just copy us. And I'm going to show you if I take this and I right click, just say I want to copy image, and I'm not going to paste it in my site. I'm just going to, because I really don't want to show you that. I'm going to go to my images on my drive. And I'm going to open a new document. And I'm just going to paste it. So I do Control V, paste it. It's still not going to, I don't think it's going to tell me.
Mm-mm.
No, but a lot of times if you just paste it inside your page to your website without doing anything, you're going to have all kinds of gibberish, zeros, ones, underscores, all kinds of different characters. That's not going to help your search engine optimization at all. So that's why it's really important to download your image into either your Dropbox or wherever you save to the Google Drive or on your computer. However you do it, make sure you save it there first. First of all, you're going to have the original copy. Then you're going to have the resized ones as well. So you'll have various sizes.
Yeah. And I actually have in my Dropbox, I have a folder with, it's called resized images. And then I have the 250, the 925, the 1000s. And I have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, websites. There's one website, ad site that we use that has specific diameters for their images. I can't remember which one it is. Classified ads. I think it's classified ads. They have a certain pixel that you have to use or it won't upload the images.
Yeah, most of them do. And if you go over that, it's why it won't accept it.
It won't accept it.
Because it's too large.
Yeah. So make sure you got it. And that's an easy way, especially with me. Like I said, I have Dropbox on my phone. So when I'm out and about and I need to do a quick Instagram or TikTok or something, I can pull up that Dropbox, and I can literally go and say, okay, I'm Instagram. These are the images that's great for Instagram. And I have them all sized already. So that's a great way to go ahead and get those prepared. And then you have the ones that you can use. Just don't go in and upload a bunch of images in your website. Only upload what you're using at the time you're writing your page, because it bogs down, it takes up memory on your web page, your website itself.
Now
Yes,
you can
William.
use your images that you save on your website. You can use those in your ads if you can copy and paste those
Yeah,
into a certain spot. Well, if you save them properly, they're going to be where they should be.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be copying an image and putting it directly into your website. Like Shar said, you need to copy the image, put it in a file, either in your Dropbox, your Google Drive, or just in your file documents on your computer. Resize them, save that resized at the size it is, and then remember we talked about branding 2 weeks ago. Put your website name, not your URL. You're not branding your URL. You're branding your website name.
Now,
That's
another
what,
easy way to save your images, if you're doing an ad campaign and you have that in a document, you can place a few pictures on that document. So you have to go searching for them. They're already there. So when you make your ad campaign, say for biohacking, you can put a couple of images on your document there so you can just grab them along with your links. Makes it a lot easier to have everything in one
in
place.
one place. Exactly. Mr. William, go ahead.
Yes, I like to search, for a lot of images, that aren't Rory's in Rory's Dropbox, and to make sure that they're royalty free without a watermark and all that, just to cover my butt. Where would I post it? Like these images were from Pixabay, or these images are
You don't
from.
have to, if they're free images, you don't have to say where they came from.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure
you're
I'm
working too hard if
covering
you
my
do that.
butt there. Okay.
The only thing you have to do is if it's licensable, or if it has a watermark, or when you go to look at it, I can't remember the three. There's 4 different companies. It will be distorted when you go to download it. Please don't have those on your site, because they can shut you down. You can be charged phenomenal fees for
Yeah, they've
that.
come after a
Right.
couple
They will
people.
they
That's
will
what I
come
want to
after you
avoid.
for that.
Okay.
So
All right.
just make sure that it's a clean image that you're using. But if you find images that you like, put them in a folder that you can come back to later. Just don't randomly upload images,
Oh
because
yeah,
it
yeah. No,
literally
I haven't.
will. Yeah.
I'm
But
not
if
going to
it's
make
on a
that
free,
same
yeah,
oops again.
if it's on a free site, you don't have to document where it came from.
Okay.
Now, if you want to promote that site, that's different. You can say, I got this image from, and then promote where you got the
Yeah, if
images.
you give them credit and put it under
Little
where you got
backlink
it, then
action.
they're fine with that.
It's a backlink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
All
I
right,
do get a lot of images from them.
Yep. All right, Mr. Gerald.
There it goes. Yeah, when you said put my site name and not my URL, where?
When you're naming your images,
Oh, okay.
so when you name your image, you should have the image name. So you need to name your image, and it should be related to the page you're working on. It should be either your short tail key phrase or your long tail key phrase. And then you should put your URL, not your URL, your website name. Like mine,
Yeah, you
Shop with
saw me
Mama
make
Chief.
that mistake. I backed it up and I had to put my name
So
instead
you
of
have to, because
URL.
remember, we don't market our URL. You brand yourself, and your brand is your website title, not your website URL. So like
So it would
my
be like I would put seed oil diagram and then the name of my behind it.
dash and then the name of your website. And then if you've
Okay.
resized it, you should have the resized number, pixel number. So if you resized it to 250 or 225, you should have that name of the image, the size that image is, and then your title, your website title.
That only for what's on my website though, right? If I have old pictures that I may use again, I can do that when I use them.
When you use them. Whenever
Okay.
you save them, you need to go ahead
I
and
will
do
now.
that, because then when you download it, you won't have to do it again. That file follows that picture.
Yeah,
So
but I
that's
don't want
why
to go back and do them all.
no, use them
Yeah,
when
right.
you
Okay.
change it when you use them, because once they're in your website, then it stays that way. And here's the other thing is, once you brand it, if you ever look on your images when you go to copy images, the first thing it has, it does have where it comes from. So if you double click it, it takes it to the website that image came from. And then if you look at the image information, it will tell you the pixels and the size, and it also will give the name of the image. So that's why it's important that you have that information there, because Google will use that picture more times than it will somebody that just has a name and a title. If you have all that information, it makes Google's job a lot easier to say, oh, this is a 325. I don't have to go and we don't have to try to figure out what the size this is. Everything is right there for them, and you will probably get indexed faster on that image than somebody that doesn't have it. Okay. Yes, Miss Linda.
Okay, this may be about a 65-part question.
I'm ready.
Okay, so, all right, so when I watched Char put that in her page at 250. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I already know that some people in my group are taking it down to the left-right bar. They're shrinking it down to that size because that's what Rory teaches, right? So is that what he was talking about, saying our images are too big?
Yes. If you're copying them straight over from another source, then
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, so what's happened time and time again is when you go back into your page,
they
it'll
blow up.
say that there's an error, yes, or something. So by putting the pixels in, does that stop it from doing
No,
that?
technically it doesn't, because you've transported the picture in from an outside source at the original size, and you're shrinking it. So once you've already brought it in at that size, that's what it's saved in your computer as. Now,
And
when
that's
you
what it's going to stay at?
but when you
Okay.
shrink it and save it, it's going to stay at that size on your page. Has anybody ever went to a page before that they were on, that they modified, came back a couple of weeks later, and the picture was blown up? That's why.
Well, that's why he said to change and make the size, change the
Yeah.
size. But I'm just questioning, so with the pixels, the way that Char did that won't happen.
No. If you do it before you bring it to your website, it won't happen, because now it's in your site at the size, and it won't go any bigger than that. If you shrink it on your page after you bring it the original size, it can revert back, because now every time you bring that picture over, you got to resize it again.
Okay.
So here's the problem. You may have that same image on 6 different pages.
That's
It's
my
not a
other part.
global change. It's not a global change, and that's what the problem. So, and it doesn't tell you what pages they're on, like our last, like the other one, like Yoast did. It showed what pages they were on. So you may know this is the only page that I put it on. If you want to take it and resize it and bring it back and then delete the old one, that will alleviate that big image.
Okay.
If you save it smaller.
Okay. So, but if it's in your library, it's already saved.
Yes.
It is. As soon as you bring it in and say, oops, I didn't want that, X out of there, it's saved it it's in there anyway.
Okay, perfect. So with that, then, like I said, I got several all around the same thing. Sheila, you made a comment that if you use a picture that you have on, say, 2 pages, you do not change the keyword. Is that correct? Because you're doing better.
And that's the thing. When you bring that picture over to another page, you can change it on that page, but it's not going to change it on your main library. So that way it will
That's
rank
good
for
though,
that.
right?
Yeah. So that means you can have a picture index in several different categories as long as it makes sense. So you can have your biohacking image under biohacking, but now if that picture also works with brain, you can bring it over to brain. And then on that page, you go in and change the name or the key phrase there. It doesn't
But it's
change
still
it.
got the tracking from the other.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well,
it doesn't change it in your library. So you can have it named in your library. So when you bring it over, everything is the same. But if you want to change the keyword for that particular
that
picture
page.
on that page, it like Char said, it's individually based on where you put it.
Okay,
it's not going to change it because you changed it on that page. It's not going to change it in your library.
Right. I don't use identical pictures, but I need that theory in case somebody asks
Somebody
me.
does.
Okay, I'm
And
done.
that's the
Thank
one
you.
thing you guys you want to do is before you go and import a picture or find a picture for a page, look through your library, because there are pages that you can use multiple times with different topics that make sense, and you just need to change the key phrase. The description is going to be the same because the picture is the same. So you don't need to change the description other than incorporate the keyword that you're using into the description. But you should always leave the size and your tag for your website. Okay. Yes, Miss Wanda. Glad to see you. There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
So I just want to know the resize for social media. I didn't get it.
Okay, so if you go to Canva and go to the free option on Canva, they actually have the sizes for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So you can go and use the free Canva and resize your images using that, or just go and say, I want to Facebook and put it into the Facebook template and it will resize it there. And then you just name it Facebook template or, size and put it from there. But I want to say Facebook is $9.25 or $9.80.
It's on that link that I just shared.
Yeah.
Everything is on there as well.
Yeah, so check if you don't. Yeah, so she has all the images in there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. But Canva's a great tool to go in, and the resizing is a fee. That's part of the paid program for Canva. But if you go in and just click the social media platforms for Canva and then just import your picture into that template, it will resize it there without you having to say, I want to resize it for Facebook, because the resize option on Canva is a paid option.
All right, thanks.
Yes, Miss Karen.
One thing is I looked at my media library after Shar was showing me hers, and that uploaded to column on mine shows me the name of the page it's on. It's used on. Does that not show on yours?
It's uploaded too, yeah. Yeah, but the same picture, if you used it 6 different times, shouldn't be on there because I just go to my media library because I know I uploaded it and I put it, and you can see here I have 2 different images.
Okay.
And they're on different pages.
Okay, I got it. The other thing I noticed is when I clicked on an image to edit it, I got a thing that said there was an SEO score for that.
Yes.
And is that based on what you fill in the alt text in the description? Okay.
Yep.
That was all.
Because your picture, based on, if you don't put an alt text in a description, Google can't use your picture. They won't use your picture because they don't know where to put it.
That's in the library because it used to be.
No, in the library.
No, you want to do it on your page. You don't want to touch anything below where I showed you when I opened that up.
Yeah, don't go below. Yeah, on your image. Yeah, do it on your page. Don't do it in your library.
Only on the page. Okay.
Yeah. Change your information on your page, not your library, because if you go a certain spot down on that page, you can mess up your site if you don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
So only change it. You know what you're doing. Shar and I, we do, because that's part of our background. But most people don't know the technical information, and Matt will probably spaz out if you mess with it, because it can literally.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because I'm sure
Yeah.
people will ask me, so I want to know what to tell them.
Change
That's all.
everything on your page. On the page, not in your library. Your library just
So
where you
load the
can see your.
picture at the correct size with the correct name and everything else you do in the page.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So any questions? Any more questions on our images? Because this is key, guys. It's literally, it will speed up your website where people can come in and look and see things, especially if you have multiple images on your site. This will also help with the rotation there, where people, your page upload speed, which is huge for SEO, is your page upload speed. If it's bogged down, they will leave. You don't want them to leave. Okay. So do we understand that? Because I'm going to stop this section.
Hey,